Welcome to Cook Your Catch. Blaine Gabbert here. Today is all about tradition, and the tradition that I'm specifically talking about is the Feast of the Seven Fishes. We're doing lobster stuffed mushrooms, so let's get started. All right, so the first thing that we need to do is we need to cook up these lobster tails. So I've already got one of these cut out and prepped so you guys can kind of see how I'm gonna lay these out because we're gonna grill them. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the rest of these and get all the meat pulled off the side. Kind of work your knife around the edge of that lobster meat. If you use a blade, it kind of helps you a little bit if you got a tool. I am going to be grilling this, and then we're going to let it cool just a little bit, and then we're going to cut it up into chunks. And then when we cut it up into chunks, it's going to be added to our mix for our stuffing for our mushrooms. All right, we got our final lobster tail ready to grill. So I'm gonna brush a little butter on these. I have a grill going, it's set at about 400 degrees. We're gonna set these on there, and they're gonna cook approximately 10 or so minutes because we are also going to be stuffing these mushrooms with this meat. So it'll cook a little bit more in there too. Lobster tails going on the grill. And hey, if you wanna do this in the oven, no problem. Do it in the oven. I just figured since we're outside and it's nice and we got the fire going, we just do everything on the grill out here. Okay, so the lobster tails are going to be in there for about 10 to 12 minutes. While we're doing this, this is the prime time to get everything mixed up in the bowl. So here's what we got going on. We have a cup of seasoned breadcrumbs. I have 1 6-ounce can of crab meat. I have 2 tablespoons of minced garlic, 1 cup of mozzarella cheese, and then I have a pound of my mushroom caps. I went ahead and took off all the stems and gave them a quick wash. So we can go ahead and start mixing all of our ingredients in our bowl that we're gonna be stuffing our mushrooms with while our lobster is cooking and finalizing in the grill. First thing that we're going to do is I'm going to add my breadcrumbs. I'm gonna add my crab meat. Add my minced garlic. And I'm gonna add my cheese. Okay, so the binder on this is the butter. I've got right around 3/4 of a stick of butter in here that I'm gonna go ahead and dump in there. Give this a good mix. Now we still have to add our lobster meat, but it's almost done. And we'll add that here in a second. So the Feast of the Seven Fishes, it originates from southern Italy, where there is an abundance of coastline. And it is a tradition that happens during the holidays, so during December. And what it is 7 different seafood recipes that you can enjoy with your family before Christmas Day. Stuffed mushrooms are something that you can just throw out and everybody can just kind of take and grab, and who doesn't like a stuffed mushroom? So our lobster tails are almost done. We're gonna pull those out. We're gonna let them cool for just a couple of minutes, and then we're gonna cut that meat up. We're gonna mix it into our ingredients, and then we're gonna get to stuffing these mushrooms. I do have a cast iron skillet that I have already pre-buttered. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the meat from these tails. Hold this off my cutting board so that we don't get any hard chunks in there. All right, last one. All right. I'm kind of just slicing it. You want to be able to bite into one of those mushrooms and get a chunk of lobster. So that's why I'm not really, dicing it or taking it down too small. So we're gonna throw our lobster tail chunks in our mix. All right, let's give this a mix. Mix those lobster chunks in there real good. All right. All right, let's stuff some mushrooms. Put a little on the bottom. Grab a couple chunks. Put some lobster chunks in. And then I just like to cover that top up a little bit with those breadcrumbs and that cheese. So it kind of crusts over a little bit on the top. That cheese melts down. So this is a 12-inch cast iron skillet. And for a pound of mushrooms, it seems to be the perfect size. All right, our mushrooms are ready to go. They're ready to be dropped in the grill, or like I said, if you're doing this at home and you're doing it in the oven, right in the oven on 375. We're gonna do that for 10 minutes. All right, we're gonna let those cook for about 10 minutes or so on 375, and they're gonna be ready to go. I think these things are done. Let's pull them off the grill. Well, I don't think that there's much left to do other than jump into one of these things. Let's pull a couple of these guys out. So they are a little soft. I assume once they cool down, they're gonna firm up a little bit. Ooh, this one looks good. Look at all that lobster in there on that one. All right. I am going to just cut this guy right down the middle to see what we are working with. Hey, look at that. So you're probably wondering what that tastes like, and you're probably going, man, I bet those are good. And I would say, number one, you're correct, and number two, they're better than what you're thinking they are. So good. Lobster, stuffed, mushrooms, great hors d'oeuvre, something you can share with your friends and your family. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching.